Hey guys, my name is Erin and I'm new to YouTube. I'm going to talk to you today about what it's like being a vegetarian. So, some things that people ask me is, so how does your mum cook for you? You see, I'm the only vegetarian in my family, so I can see why it's hard. Like, I've got two sisters, I've got my mum, dad, they are all non-vegetarian and I'm the only one, and a lot of the time I feel so difficult. I feel like I'm a burden, but then again, honestly, if the thought of eating meat makes me feel sick. Like, that might seem like an overreaction, but honestly, if you stick a piece of meat in front of my face and told me to eat it, I wouldn't be able to do it. Like, okay, maybe if it was life and death, obviously I would eat it, but the thought of it being inside me is no. So, they ask, is it hard? Yes, it's so hard. Every single day, whenever I go out to places, I'm always looking for that V symbol, and it restricts me quite a lot. Like, say, the other day my friends were going out for chips and I knew the place that they were going out for had lard that they were cooking the chips in, and so it made it so difficult for me, and I know I'm doing it to myself, but at the same time I couldn't imagine it any other way. I've been a vegetarian since I was 4 years old. So how my mum normally cooks for me is, say they're having pasta and they're having, I don't know, minced meat and all that sauce, I would just have tomato sauce or green pesto. The same with, I don't know, say they're having a roast, I just have a thing called a nut cutlet, and then they have their meat, and I just have everything except for the meat. So I don't think it's that hard for her to cook for me because we've got quite a lot of stuff in the freezer, and often I'll just have more vegetables, and I think if I weren't vegetarian I'd be quite a lot bigger. And some people also ask me, surely that's unhealthy? You see, I am actually quite worried that I might be doing something wrong by being vegetarian. Like, it might come to bite me in the face sometime, but at the same, I don't know, okay, one thing I do to be a good vegetarian is that I do take vitamins. I take vitamin B, vitamin D and iron tablets, because my mum always goes on, well, sometimes goes on, about how important vitamins are for me, especially since I'm a vegetarian, because things like vitamin B, vitamin D and iron, they are probably lacking in my diet. Something I could have to, I don't know, in order for me not to have those vitamins and minerals, is I could have more pulses and lentils and nuts, which I do, but not all the time. So it's just like to make sure. I get that can be expensive, so I don't know, you have to weigh out how expensive the vitamins and minerals are, and if you could actually see yourself taking them every day. Because I always forget. I think I forgot yesterday. But I think it is actually cheaper being a vegetarian, so that'll be good, because I'm going to uni this September, hopefully. So that should help not having to buy meat all the time. But I don't actually think most uni people buy meat because it's so expensive. I've got, by the way, a piece of paper, because if I didn't plan kind of bullet points, I'd be rambling forever. I also experience quite sad times when I'm being a vegetarian. I was speaking about not being able to go to the same places as my friends when they're eating out with the chip situation, but also there's more extreme. For example, I was coming home from a holiday in Greece, and in the airport they seemed to speak quite good English, and I asked them, oh, is this vegetarian? And they were like, yeah, it's just got tomato, basil, cheese. I was like, okay, yeah, okay. Oh, they also had peppers on the top of the pizza. Okay, I am halfway through this slice of pizza. I'm like, I don't know what that is. What am I eating? Like, what is that funny texture? Okay, I can't see anything on the top. I lift up the cheese to see a big slab of ham. Like, who puts toppings underneath the cheese? Maybe if all of the toppings were underneath the cheese, but don't put a surprise slice of ham underneath the cheese. Surely that's something you should be advertising, because meat is really expensive. Not put it. It's really hard, because every single day I try my hardest not to eat anything that has meat in, or not to have, like, if a pan is greasy at home, I'll normally wash it before I cook anything, because it's probably got animals' fat on. Like, I do try so hard. So I just started crying in this airport, and I felt silly for crying, but actually when it's something you care about so much, which it was, it just really got to me, and there was nothing I could do about it. But I just felt, probably for about 3 days, I felt sick. Because I had animal inside me, and I probably still do, but yeah, I'm just letting it go now. My last point is the good side of being a vegetarian. See, not only is it cheaper for when I go to uni, I also feel so good about what I'm eating. Even though there's less choice at a restaurant, anything that I do have, I just feel like, because lots of it is less processed than the meat, like, that, I don't know, I'm just thinking about processed burgers really, but I feel like I eat more clean generally, because often there won't be many veggie options, so I'll just have a salad, and I don't feel guilty at all about what I'm eating, which I definitely would feel if I was eating meat. So I guess that's the major upside of being a vegetarian, that you feel healthier, you feel mentally better, and everyone also is so astounded when I tell them I'm a vegetarian, and that I have been since I was 4. I'm 18, by the way. So yeah, there's cons of being a vegetarian, there's upsides, but if you are unsure if you want to be a vegetarian, maybe just, I don't know, read some blogs, watch this video, and maybe just try it for a week, see how you go, and if you really hate it, don't, but I think it really works for me, and it keeps me in shape. Thanks, guys.